Good morning, this is Casey Rynerson, and this is my video blog 8 for MIT 885. And for this blog, it's the biggest problem that we face in our current role. And for this, I chose to do something that we face as a staff here at Spearville High School in Spearville, Kansas. The biggest problem that I face in my current role, and when I used I'm using that also as we, as a staff. I'm going to give you a little bit of background information about the school that we're at. It's USD 381. It's a small school in southwest Kansas. It's located about 15 miles straight east of Dodge City on Highway 50. We're a 1 or 2A school depending on the year and the enrollment that year. We have an elementary school and a middle school, high school, so we have 2 buildings in our district. We currently have 3 administrators. We've got a superintendent and then a building principal at each building. Our class sizes are relatively small and average between 15 and 20 at the high school. At the elementary school, they're a little bit larger. And then our district website there is listed also. The biggest problem that we face in our district is, in my opinion, the failure to embrace technology. Like many small districts, we struggle to stay current with new technology. Many times, these new technologies that we do use are used only on a short-term basis, and then they're kind of pushed to the side. At in-services, many times some of our teachers blow off the technologies that are presented just because it's something different. Sometimes our teachers resist change, and when you resist change, therefore you're going to resist technology that can be used in their classrooms just because it's something new to them. When this happens, in my opinion, the students are the ones that suffer because we're not bringing them the newest and best things that we can. At times we lack the funds to get the newest and best technology, but overall we do not do a good enough job as a district of embracing the free technology that's out there, and a lot of that's been made available to me through the master's program there at Fort Hays. It's a combination of not being trained to use the new technology and not being motivated to step outside of the box to do something different. The audience that we're dealing with in this problem is our local staff, myself included. Our staff is comprised of the following teachers: 1 history teacher, 1 computer teacher, 1 art teacher, 1 shop teacher, 2 English teachers, 2 math teachers, and 2 science teachers. Our building administrator does a good job with the resources he has, and he presents them to the staff regarding technology. But sometimes some of our teachers just flat out despise that technology, and you can tell just by their persona and their body language that they are refusing to use it. Many teachers are unaware of what is available to them through the internet that is free. The ISTE standards that are appropriate to our district and that we need to incorporate to embrace technology are as follows. 1 is the leadership and vision. Educational leaders inspire a shared vision for comprehensive integration of technology and foster an environment of culture conducive to the realization of that vision. And we as a staff have to begin to buy into technology and what it can do for our students and our staff. It's not just the building administrator's job to do this. It takes all of us as a team to make this happen. And then within Standard 1, we need to use the data to help us make leadership decisions regarding curriculum and technology. Standard 2 was B, facilitate and support collaborative technology-enriched learning environments conducive to innovation for improved learning. We as a staff need to be allowed time to learn from each other on what works best and what does not work so well within each classroom. Many times what sounds great at an in-service may not be practical to each individual classroom, but some teachers may be able to adapt that technology to use it. We could therefore learn from them. We have to be on the same page throughout the staff, or we run the risk of our students being left behind. It's our job to prepare them for the future that they're going to live in. It can't just be 1 or 2 teachers trying to make the change. It has to be everybody. Standard 3, maintain awareness of emerging technologies and their potential uses in education. Our staff is unaware of the free technologies that are out there for them to use in their classroom. I did a presentation over Screencast-O-Matic, Google Drive, and YouTube at an in-service, and at least 2/3 of our staff had not heard of any of them, had no idea how to use those free resources. I've tried to pass on what I've learned to our staff, but it's not enough. We have to be proactive in this approach and seek outside help of our district when possible. Standard 4E, implement procedures to drive continuous improvements of technology systems and to support technology replacement cycles. We do a really good job locally with keeping up our technology equipment to date as far as computers and that kind of stuff. We are able to do this through the use of VE2 funds that are generated by our Woods Art and Business departments. With this, though, sometimes we're getting new technologies and it's not being used. There's still room for improvement in the areas of initiating a one-to-one application, either using iPads or laptops. If students see us as teachers embracing technology within our own classroom, they're going to do the same. Standard 5. Use technology to collect and analyze data, interpret results, and communicate findings to improve instructional practice and student learning. We need to use technology to help us analyze test scores for individual students and then also for groups of students. It's amazing what's out there that's free that will help you do this. This will give us instant feedback on what we need to change within our curriculum and maybe what groups we need to really look at. And this will show us important aspects and key components of the educational process that we might have been missing. Standard 6B, identify, communicate, model, enforce social, legal, and ethical practices, promote responsible use of technology. Once we begin to incorporate more technology into our classroom, it will be our responsibility as teachers to make sure it's being used correctly. Some classes have more technology than others, so it will be up to the individual teachers to monitor these rules and to set these rules and make sure they're enforced. And the district and building technology rules should be in place to protect both individuals and the schools. Okay, so that's the easy part. Now the hard part is going to be, what am I going to do to help solve this problem? It's easy to sit back and say we need to do this and this and this, but the hard part is actually going about changing it. So this is what I have planned. I feel that it's my responsibility to pass on what I've learned through the MIT program at FHSU to my fellow teachers. I've shown them a little bit, but there's a lot more I can show them in a short amount of time. 30 minutes to an hour, and at the end of an in-service, I can get a lot of stuff done. I need to make myself available at in-services and other times to help support our staff as they make the transition to using more technology within their classrooms. I've planned to schedule a meeting with our principal at the end of the school year to discuss options for both in-services and new technologies that I feel would be adequate for our school and our curriculum. And I've made a list of technologies that are free that I think we could really use. And most importantly, I need to continue to learn and use the new technologies myself. I feel that to stay up to date with technology, I must continue to adapt to what is available, and that's the most important one. I can't just become stagnant and not do anything else now that I'll be finished with my master's. I've got to keep learning myself. Okay, then why is technology so important in our district? Our students are growing up in a different world than what we did. It's totally relying on technology, and it's our job to prepare them to the best of our capabilities to be prepared to succeed in their world. And if we're not embracing technology, I don't see how we can be doing that. To do this, we as educators must embrace that technology and its challenges and incorporate these into our classroom for our students' benefit. It's not always going to be easy, but it is our job, I feel, to make sure that we are giving them the most up-to-date, best information about new resources that we can. If we fail to embrace the technology, it's our students who will pay the price. We're going to keep doing the same thing in our classroom over and over and over again. And we might get positive results, but when students step out our doors, they may not be quite as ready for the real world as what they could be. We all got into this profession to help students, and this is one way we can have a tremendous impact on how and what our students learn.